Welcome to Megazord Radio, the show where we recap and rank episodes of the Power Rangers television franchise. I'm your host, Nightster, and with me is my co-host, Riely.
Hey, welcome back to the show, folks. So happy to be here on the 20th episode of Megazord Radio. We've reached a new set of numbers. We've reached the 20s.
A whole new, landmark or
We
whatever.
were stuck in the teens for a couple of years there, but now
Our
here
show
we
is no
are.
teenager.
Our show is no longer a teenager. Next episode, we'll be legally allowed to drink.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Pour one out for the boys.
Pour one out. Man, pour one out for I had a significant Power Rangers event happen in my life. Pour one out for my other Power Rangers podcast that could have come back at any time. There were occasional whispers, but given recent events, I think the Powerverse Juice Bar podcast has officially had the coffin nailed.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Jack has decided to disappear off the face of the planet. That was funny of him. So rip that show. My one and only Power Rangers podcast. Now I don't have to have Powerverse Juice Bar in my mind. I'm like, man, I gotta save all of my good Power Rangers thoughts. I gotta distribute them properly, and the Powerverse Juice Bar can come back at any time. But now I can spread my legs and fly. Before I was not trying on the show, and now I can try.
Yeah.
I was like, if I have two Power Ranger shows, I have to not try on either, because then it won't be expected of me. But I only have one. All right, enough of this silliness. I gotta pull up fucking Rock Out and tell you people what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Hey, the rhyming schemes. I will say, I did love these two episodes that we're covering today.
I really did. Honestly, I am like super satisfied with the set of episodes we watched today. But this episode here, of course, it aired on September 29th, 2023, because they all did. It was written by Becca Barnes, Olwyn Dale, Maya Thompson, and Cameron Dixon, and directed by the Hask. Good old Hask, Charlie Haskell.
Oh, we love ourselves a Hask.
Good old Hask. Everybody loves Hask.
It's like everybody hates Chris, but everybody loves Hask.
So, we start off on Eltar? Or is this out of order?
I don't think we start on Eltar. Let me pull the episode up on Netflix.
Because it starts with Lord Zed gloating about having Eltar. That's the end of the last episode, not the beginning of this one.
Let me look. Cosmic Fury.
I just watched these like an hour ago.
Same. Yeah, I don't care about the intro.
More fun in outer space, gonna save the human race. I'm gonna say, much better than Dino Fury. Still not the best theme song.
So actually, we start on Eridus with the ship.
That's what I thought. So this is fucked. That's from the last episode. So we go to the ship. They're hanging out on the ship. The Power Rangers and Billy and Sola, and Javi is not there. So stay tuned for what Javi's up to.
Okay. Yeah, they're watching TV with the news reporters.
Yeah. So they're watching TV. And it's I know Jay Borg. What is the name of the reporter?
I think
Jane? Jane? Yeah, Jane and Jay Borg. Okay, so yeah, the Jane and Jay Borg are reporting on the news about Lord Zed's attack. Zed has set up prisons, which doesn't feel very Zed.
He's like, hey, humans are going to prison.
Like, he would just, like, kill you or turn you into an evilman. Like, he's not going to put you in prison.
Also, I've just noticed this, but if you look at J-Borg in this clip,
yeah,
the cybernetic ornaments on her face and that red hair are very astronomer.
You know, you have a point. She does look very Astronema.
I
Maybe
don't
it was
think.
Astronema. Maybe Astronema's spirit. Well, this is gonna be Cosmic Fury season 2. They lied to us. There's actually gonna be a season 2. And the evil spirit of Astronema that was removed from Corone is gonna possess Jayborg, and then she's gonna be Astronema.
Yes, astronomer point two.
Anyway,
Yeah, they're talking the TV, and I think
yeah. So they watch Jay and Jayborg. They're like, "There's prisons now. Zed's locking up anybody who doesn't like him." Um, and then the Zentils show up, and they're like, "It's the media. Get them!" and
social
uh,
media.
and Jade and Jayborg try to run away, but it seems like they fall, and the camera feed kind of cuts. So it looks like Jane and Jayborg are kind of screwed. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And they also see a newscast. Oh wait, no, that's after this. Okay, so they get
That's after.
okay, so then they get a message from Tarek, right? Or is that after this?
That's after. I've got the episode like here now. If you want me to tell you what's going on.
Yeah, okay. What the
Okay,
fuck?
so
I hate the Ranger Wiki. It takes me like 9 hours to take notes for Cosmic Fury. I can't do it.
this is why I was saying off camera, just to, maybe let me handle the Cosmic Fury like rundown, because I've got the episodes pulled up. I can just
Yeah, but then you're
follow.
distracted by like goopling through the episode. I don't know why I made up that new adjective for that. You're just goopling through the episode,
I mean, it's
and
better
there's.
than trying to fix up puzzle pieces.
I mean, I imagine once like the real shit starts happening, it's gonna be pretty comprehensive. But this is all just like beginning people talking exposition, so I guess they're not super keen on giving a bunch of detail there.
Yeah,
So
true.
do we go right to Javi on his drums, or does the newscast with Squillia happen here? Not Squillia. Squillia's the teen. Bajilia.
Uh, well, they're talking for a bit, and then
Yeah, they're just chatting, like, oh god, oh no, there's bad
and,
stuff going on Earth. Sato's like, oh man, you guys weren't kidding when you said things were bad over there. Shit.
and then we hear some drums,
Yes, we
and
just start hearing fucking not drums, not real drums, just like
like
pots being
drumming music.
bashed in a drumming rhythm. And they're like, what the fuck? And then they go find Javi, and Javi
And
is
you go and check it
singing
out.
the goofiest metal song in the world about Lord Zed and how he doesn't like him.
And we were talking about Power Rangers musicals. I think this episode is the closest we're gonna get.
That's true. It is a little bit of a there's not multiple musical numbers, but there's this one that they do a couple different versions of. So
Starting here.
IHATE, the Emperor of Evil.
It's a banger, I'll be honest. I like that.
Honestly, shout out to Javi.
Shout out to Harvey.
So yeah,
But
Javi's drumming, and then he's like, the Rangers run in, and Fern also. Fern's there, by the way. I mentioned Billy and Solon, but not Fern. Oops. So they all go to find Javi doing his song, and they're like, bro, like can you like calm down a little bit? And then Javi's like, come on, it's great. And Fern's like, I also think it's great because I drummed before and I know what good drums sound like. And that's pretty good drums you're doing, Javi.
yeah.
Javi's like, yeah, I'm getting used to the arm. I got my rhythm back. All that stuff. So shout out to Javi.
And then Ion picks up a broken pan and is like, dude, that's my favorite
Yes,
pancake pan.
pan. What the hell? That's my pancake pan. And Javi says he'll buy him a new one when they get back to Earth. And then he hits it with the drumstick again.
Yeah, I'll buy you a new one, dunk.
Dunk. We don't have to take care of this one anymore. I don't have to minimize the damage I've done to this pan that you love. Now that I've promised to buy you a new one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skadoosh that again.
Exactly.
So yeah, they're kind of like arguing about drums.
Some
Uh,
drum
and,
organ, cats.
and then it's the bajillion newscast, I think.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so they pick up an alien newscast. It's a really eccentric, weird looking alien man. They're on the planet Akral. And he's interviewing Bajilia, and Bajilia's like, "Yes, this is a great mining planet, and I've found a very special treasure. It's a Zord, and we're gonna get it, and we're gonna do bad stuff with it because we're evil."
Then he's just
And
like, we heard it here first. Up next, a monster musical.
yeah, a monster metal band that they're gonna interview. I
Yeah.
forget what that band was called. I know what the band we're gonna hear in a minute's called, and that's quite a name, but I forget what these guys are called.
Uh, does he say it here?
He does, but it's not consequential. We never meet this metal band.
No.
So they got a. So there's a. Fuck. Okay. So
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised that they didn't. I remember that because it's basic as shit. It's just the jaws.
the Jaws.
Yeah.
So they hear that they like metal up there. Oh wait, but first they're like, okay, what are we gonna do? What's the plan? And it's like, okay, if we all go down there, shit's gonna get fucked up. Ollie's gonna take the Zord. It's not gonna be cool. He probably has a trap for us if we all go down there. And then Zato's like, what if I go down there and I can use my Morphin Master staff that I have to make the Zord ours? And they're like, okay, but like that city, that's fucking Squid City down there, bro. Like you can't go in alone. And it's like, yeah, we kind of had no other choice though. But how are we gonna do it? And then Javi starts drumming again. And Izzy's like, "Can you fucking knock it off? That's distracting."
Like
And Javi's like,
when Dad sings in the
"Distracting."
shower, bro. Super
Yeah,
distracting.
yeah, it's like when Dad sings boy bands in the shower. And then Javi's like, "Distracting." And then he has a Jimmy Neutron brain blast. And he's like, "Want to start a metal band?" And Solon's like, "Are you doing all right, Javi?" Oh, also, I forgot to mention, they all think that Javi's like sick because he's doing metal drums. I don't know why. That's the angle they took. Because even earlier, Solon's like, "Hey, you all right? I can whip you up some. I whip you up a cup of marshmallows," which I believe is a reference to how Javi takes his hot chocolate in Dino Fury, which is more marshmallows than hot chocolate, if I remember right. So
Think
so
so, yeah.
clean reference there. So they all just think there's like something wrong with him because he's doing metal songs.
I love So Long.
Solan's like, "You okay?" And or maybe Billy this time is like, "Are you okay?" And Javi's like, "No, no, 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 no. Hold on. Listen, they like metal because they said that there was a monster metal band. So if we do a metal band and we can distract them so that Zato can sneak to the Zord and do the thing he's got to do." And they're like, "Okay, interesting plan. It might work. But Ollie is very smart. And
He
if he sees
count.
us and he figures us out, he's going to know there's five of us. And he's going to know Zato is going for the Zord. He's going to go right to the Zord." And Fern's like, "Well," and then she does the drums on the pots and pans, and she's like, "That's my audition. Come on, put me in." And and Izzy's like, "Hold on a minute." Or no, Javi's like, "Yeah, awesome. We got a plan." And Izzy's like, "No, no, we don't have a plan. We don't have a plan. There's like monsters everywhere down there." And Fern's like, "But we gotta, and like, you'll protect me. It'll be fine." And Izzy's like, "Okay." I like how Izzy's depicted in most of this episode This, but like, it's kind of this hard balance to strike where it's like, okay, how do you navigate the complex web of you're a Power Ranger and your girlfriend wants to help, but she is not a Power Ranger. She's flesh and bone. No spandex to protect said flesh and bone. And uh, Izzy kind of has to strike this balance where she can't immediately be like, "No, fuck you," which get a little bit we get there next episode. But she has to strike a balance of like, okay, I can't like freak out because that's gonna be a whole thing. But like, I'm really concerned. I don't like this. I think it's done well for most of the episode. I think it falters once at the like very end, and we'll get there when we get there. So Izzy's not thrilled, but she's willing to go along with the plan. So that's the game plan.
It
So
is
is
indeed.
Tarek like way later?
I think he is way later. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right near the end. So
Okay.
they
Okay.
so they go to the squid planet or
Okay.
whatever
Yeah, they
it
go
is.
to the Squid Planet. Um, God,
And
this
the,
is fucking terribly written.
and as they're walking, they're trying to think of like a band name.
Yeah, they're trying to think of a band name, and they're like, God, what are we gonna? Oh, they're all in monster disguises, by the way. I don't think
Yeah.
you mentioned that. So
Oh
they're
yeah.
all in monster disguises. They're heading towards the gates, and they're like, okay, what are we gonna call our monster metal band? Uh, oh,
And they
do,
don't come
don't
up with on the spot.
don't we go to Ollie and Scrozzy before we go to the band? Now that I think about it, did I say Scrozzy?
Crazy. Uh,
Ollie and Scrozzle.
that's after this.
That's after this. Okay, so they're talking about the band name.
Yeah.
Um, and they get there, and they don't have a name yet. That's not the name of the band. They don't even have the name of the band right on this fucking shit. It's Meat Chrome.
Meat Chrome.
It's a Meat Chrome. Yeah. So they get to the gate before they've decided. But he's like, "Who are you guys?" And Javi's like, "We're Meat Crow." But Amelia's like, "Yeah, Meat Crow." And we're here. We're here to do a concert because Squilia asked us to because you guys are working so hard. You found a Zord. But the monsters at the gate are like, "Oh boy, Squilia never gives us a treat. Come on right in." So that's fun. They're in now. They're Meat Chrome.
Meat
Uh,
Chrome.
and they start their song, which is an altered version of Javi's song from earlier, which is now about how they LOVE the Emperor of Evil
Yeah.
rather than HATE him. So that's
That's
fun.
nice.
I love this. I love this whole sequence. I love the fucking monster disguise metal band. it's. I love this episode. This episode's great. But yeah, we cut to Ollie and Scrozzle. They're working on getting the Zords or the Zord singular, and Scrozzle's like, "Well, shit, the Zord doesn't work yet, but I found this like blaster thingy. I think it seems like the Zord's been here for like a really long time." And Ollie's just like, "Man, I really wish the Power Rangers didn't know this fucking Zord was here." Squilia, or I keep saying it, Bajilia, fucking going on the news saying that this Zord is here. Fucking ridiculous. So we better fucking do this quick because the Power Rangers are gonna be on their way. And Strauss was like, "Well, I would be quicker if I wasn't so distracted by that racket out there." And then, just perfect at the perfect moment, in order to explain the racket, a monster walks in. He's like, "Can I take a break to go see the metal concert? The free metal concert the Squilly is throwing? That was so nice of her." And Ollie's like, "Nice. That doesn't sound like that doesn't sound like a CEO. That doesn't sound like
Yeah.
Bajilia."
CEO
Uh,
behavior.
CEO behavior. So he heads out to investigate. And the monsters. He tells Scrozzle to stay there. And the monster's like, "Wait, but I could go, right?" And he just like goes. And Ollie walks up to stage. He like pushes a sentinel down on his way because he's evil and mean. And he goes up to stage and he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder who this could be. And he rips off the green one's mask. They are Power Ranger color coded a little bit,
Yeah,
besides Fern. So they pull. He pulls Izzy's mask off. And Izzy's like, "Oh, hey, buddy." Izzy's like interaction with Ollie in this episode is like top notch.
it is.
Like we've gotten a lot of Amelia and Ollie back and forth, like re-exploring their relationship in the context of Ollie being evil. This is the first time Izzy and Ollie have really went at it with their words since that happened, and it's done pretty well.
True.
So yeah, Izzy's unmasked. The other Power Rangers unmask themselves, whereas Fern just hides because Izzy tells her to get down. And the Cosmic Fury Rangers morph. Ollie morphs, and a whole battle ensues.
Well, Ollie morphs first, and then the
Yeah, yeah.
Rangers or Demorph, they kind of mock him for getting jealous of their toys.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
new,
yeah, yeah. So he has a new Tricera blaster.
yeah,
And Izzy's like, "Oh, what's wrong, Ollie? You're jealous of our new toys? Oh, look at him trying to catch up."
and all the others are like making these crying gestures.
Damn, Izzy, fucking roast master. And then he does a Tricera laser, and they duck it, and I think that's when Izzy tells Fern to stay down. And then they morph,
Yeah, they morph.
and a whole big battle starts.
The what? No applause.
Oh yeah, they have the cosmic, not the cosmic, the confetti cannons
Confetti
that go
cannon.
off right as they morph. It's like, what? No applause? I'm surprised there was not like one monster in the audience clapping, and then like somebody gives him a dirty look and he stops. That's the joke I expect out of Power Rangers.
Hero. Whoa!
Yeah.
But yeah, and we get an overhead shot as the battle commences.
So yeah, the big battle commences. We get an overhead shot of what's going on. Then I believe we cut to Zato for a minute. We see the oh wait, we cut to Zato in the cloak. He's like in the crowd,
Yeah,
unnoticed. He's in the signature Andros cloak,
the Andros cloak. Yeah,
the Andros cloak. And he sneaks over to the Zord. And I don't think we see the aftermath of that yet because I don't think we don't actually see him do what we're gonna find that he's done to Scrozzle here in a minute.
no,
Um,
because we're
but
cutting to Ollie and Izzy at the moment.
yeah, so
Uh,
Ollie and Izzy are fighting one on one. There's some more quippage that goes on. So that's fun. There's just a lot of fun dynamic between Ollie and Izzy specifically in this episode.
And Izzy
Everybody's
even manages to make Ollie shoot two of the Sentinels.
oh yeah, Izzy's really good at baiting.
Yeah. Oh, she's parkouring over the obstacles like a tiger.
Yep, good. She's always had a knack for that sort of thing. Good, good.
Yeah.
A lot of good fight choreography in this episode. I'm not gonna
Very
lie.
good. Yeah. But then
Um,
I
ev-
oh, sorry.
oh, go ahead.
Nothing. I was about to continue on.
So they're fighting. Is this where Fern gets involved? Well, we see Amelia like hammer time and some dudes, and like I think we intercut to the others like fighting monsters or whatever. And then Ollie finds Fern in her disguise, and he's like, "Ah, I wonder who this is. Could it be Zato, perhaps? Hey, Zato, what's up, buddy?" And then he pulls her mask off, and it is not Zato. It is Fern. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" Then where's Zeta? Oh shit! So he shoots at Fern. Fern falls down, but doesn't get hit. It seems like, or maybe she does. Who knows? She could. Well, I guess we find out she kind of does, but not really. But it didn't even look like it
Yeah.
hit her that much.
I will see. Like, I, there's a joke that she makes about it.
Honestly, not cool.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
But
gonna scare your girlfriend like that. Come on, fam.
not cool, Fern. Not cool. It's okay. You get to be cool next time. but uh, but regardless, yeah. So that happens. Ollie knows what Zato's up to now, so he heads to the Zord, and that's when we cut the Zato. Morphin Master staffing it up.
Yeah,
And Scrozzle is tied up and his mouth is taped on the ground.
yeah, he is.
So not a good situation for Scrozzle.
It always goes wrong for Scrozzle.
God, this whole article is out of order. You're just gonna have to fucking yeah.
Okay, so
It's like
after,
it's like it has all of it here, but in like all the way the wrong order.
fair enough. So after Ollie comes in and he sees Scrozzle tied up and Zato staffing and the Zord, and Zato's just like, "Oh,
Too late. Hi,
I told
Ollie.
you."
You're too
And
late.
he taps his morpher and he's teleported inside the cockpit of the Dragon Zord.
Yep. So he's in the cockpit of the Dragon Zord. He wakes it up, but before he wakes it up, Ollie throws a little thing on there, and keep that in your pocket. I thought it was gonna be a bomb. That's not what it was. But he throws a little something on there.
But
And
actually, it's a bit. The order is a bit different in actual episode again.
I'm actually not even reading it anymore. I was just hoping my memory would take me from here.
No.
What are we missing?
Okay, so he's inside, and it's Bajilia teleports in with two
Oh
guards,
yeah, Bajilia
and
teleports in, and she's
and
like, if you're gonna tie up Scrozzle, like talk to me first. Come on.
uh, if he's annoying you that much, just talk to me.
Yeah, just talk to me. You don't have to tie him up. And he's like, no, because this is after Zato leaves. Because, well, no, because it's
No,
as Zato is leaving.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the Zord starts to move, and so it can fly off,
Yes. Okay, so yeah,
and
the
Ollie's just
Zord.
like, not so
Ollie's like,
fast.
guess who's here? The Power Rangers. Do I get to say I told you so yet? Because I've kind of been waiting all day. And that's when the Zord wakes up. The place comes tumbling down. They're like, "We gotta fucking get out of here!" They all run and they leave Scrozzle,
Yeah,
and the place collapses. The Cosmic Dragon Zord is awoken. Pretty sweet Zord, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, pretty
really
nice.
cool Zord.
Also, it's the Tyrannosaurus Ranger. His new Zord when he comes back, the first Zord he ever drives, is a dragon. You know, like Tyrannosaurus Red Dragon Thunderzord power. So kind of a nice little. I don't know if it was intentional. I feel like it must have been.
Maybe that, and it isn't just like the typical dragon most people would picture. It's like an actual
It
serpent
it
type
is a
dragon.
serpentine, much like the Red Dragon Thunderzord.
So
So
it might be
interesting
intentional,
parallels. It might be intentional.
and it looks so cool.
It does. It's really sick.
So Zeto's in
So
space,
yeah, Zato's in space.
and he sees these energy readings and he's like, "Oh, you're trying to give me a warm welcome? Okay, let's do this." And he starts
Oh
fighting.
yeah. Because Bajilia before this, Bajilia and Ollie are like out there,
Yeah, yeah.
and Bajilia's like, okay, so that dragon's gonna have to pass the moon. We've got some copy guards there. You guys better fucking deal with the Power Rangers. We got to stop him before he gets where he needs to go. And now I'm leaving, and somebody please go dig up Scrozzle.
Dig up Scrozzle.
Go dig up Scrozzle, and then she leaves. So yeah, there's copy guards on the moon. Zato calls the other Rangers and he's like, "Yo, I got some copy guards going on here. You guys want to help out?" And Amelia is like, "We'll be there in a minute. We gotta finish up here." So Zato starts fighting the copy guards with the Cosmic Dragon Sword, and it's so I love the Cosmic Dragon Sword.
So do I.
It's gonna be tempting to give favorite character to the Cosmic Dragon Sword
I actually haven't thought of favorite characters for these episodes yet. I completely forgot to do that, but I'll think of it as we go.
Yeah, I always think of it as we go. Don't worry. But yeah, the Cosmic Dragon Zords fights. We see him breathe fire and shit. It's pretty cool. We cut back to the Rangers. They're kicking ass, and then the monsters are eventually like, "Hey guys, you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, we don't get paid enough for this," and then they just run away.
Yeah, and
Why
then
are
they even
the monsters in Cosmic Fury are like the most incompetent ever? Like I think Joe Zodic, who we'll meet next episode, is the scariest monster so far, and he was barely anything.
yeah.
So yeah, they're kind of rough on the monster front on Cosmic Fury, but you know we're kind of our main villain at the moment is Ollie, and that is being executed well.
Yeah, it's
So
Ollie and
win
Zed.
some, you lose some. Ollie and Zed. Well, Ollie's the main like field villain. Zed is not fighting on the field at current.
Yeah, Zed's the main man behind the plan, while Ollie
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
It's not really about the monsters at the moment. Kind of like filler.
So yeah, did Ollie also leave, or is he fighting the Rangers still? No, because he wouldn't have run away. I don't
I
remember
think
him
he.
teleporting.
I think he went with a Bajilia.
He must have, I guess. For some reason, I didn't remember him teleporting in that scene, but I also don't remember him doing anything else. So he probably did teleport.
So Bajilia gets out her tablet thing and she presses a button, and we see her teleport. But then it cuts right to Zato, and we don't see Ollie after that.
We don't see Ollie after that, so we just have to assume he teleported away. Cool.
Yeah.
So
So the Rangers run up to Fern, who's behind a box.
yeah, oh yeah, this is when they check on Fern. And Izzy's like, "Okay, are you okay? Where'd you get hit?" And she's like, "I'm gonna need some stitches." And they're like, "Oh God, oh no!" And Fern's like, "For this hole in my shirt that they made."
It's a cute joke, but because that's not cool.
It's not cool. You see, this is where I would have expected Izzy to get the most like indignant, but it's not. And stay tuned for when that actually happens. She gets a
Yeah.
little indignant here, which is well earned, but she quickly gets over it. And they call the Zords to go join Zato. Zato kills the copy guards on his own, finishes them off with the Cosmic Dragon.
He
But
does.
then Bajilia shows up in her squid
That,
drill.
that coil attack is so cool.
It is a really good attack. So Squillia shows up at her squid drill. She's like, "This is my Zord. You can't have it. And I'm gonna take it from you with this squid drill." And the other Power Rangers show up and they're like, "Sorry, we're late." And Zato's like, "It's no good. This is no big deal. I killed the copy guards, but like it's not over yet. So let's go ahead and Megazord it up." So they Megazord it up.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Fern's going in the Zord. We forgot that exchange because
Oh yeah.
Fern's like, "Do I get to ride a Zord again?" And Izzy's like, "Yes, because you're coming with me because I'm not letting you out of my sight." So she's an Izzy Zord. They combine into the Cosmic Fury Megazord. And then she's like, "Hey, what can I do?" And Izzy's like, What you can do is not touch anything because every button in here is basically explosive." And then immediately Fern bumps into a button by accident. And she's like, "Oh shit, what did I just do?" And then Cosmic Fury Wolf Zord shows up. And Izzy's like, "You called the Wolf Zord. Why did you do that?" And then the Wolf Zord starts beating up the bad guy. And Fern's like, "The Wolf Zord's kicking ass. Yes, I did it."
And then the Rangers do their final attack,
Yeah, they do the Cosmic Fury final blast
and
thing, you
Virgilia
know.
just teleports
And
again.
she's like, yeah, she's like, "I'm leaving," and then she teleports, and the Sentinels are like, "We hate it when she does that," and then
I love
the
that exchange. It's just, I hate it when she does that. Me too.
same, me too.
And they look at the camera.
Wah, wah.
So
I
final
like
attack.
feel they're making me feel bad for all the Sentinels that die by giving the Sentinels like voices and personalities.
Yeah. It's like And they're not even really bad. They're just doing what they have to do.
Yeah, they're just like they have to listen to what Zed and Bajilia say or they're gonna get killed. So it's
Exactly.
like, that's smart. And they
Just
get killed.
the Sentinels.
R.I.P. Sentinels. It's weird how some of the Sentinels have the Zed color scheme and some of them don't. That's the thing I've noticed.
Maybe
Because
like
like these Sentinels had the Zed color scheme, but then there's like the gray ones that don't.
maybe it's similar to the like Crybot situation in SPD, where you got the regular ones, blue heads and orange heads, where the different colors and looks are based around their ranks in the authority. So the Z color scheme ones are probably more elite than the basic silver ones.
That probably tracks. That makes sense. So Kazakuri Power Rangers have won the day once more.
And fans like, we won because of the wolf sword, right?
And this is when Izzy, with like the most like indignant stank possible, is like, yeah, sure. Like this is where Izzy lost it for me. Like the whole time I'm like, she's handling this situation in like the most sensitive way she can, while also showing an appropriate amount of concern for her flesh and bone girlfriend.
Yeah.
But there was no need.
There's no need for that. Like she helped.
Yeah, she helped. The Zord did help. And Izzy's like, yeah, sure, buddy. Sure, champ.
Oh, babe.
But regardless, so why can't I focus in my brain? Oh, they also start singing the song in the Zords.
Yeah, on their way back.
They're talking about the song. Because Javi's like, he didn't even compliment my song. I thought it would be his jam. And Ion's like, I like the original version because HATE, and then the whole team, the Emperor of Evil.
Right as the Zords like fly off towards the ship
It's great.
is
It's
when looking at it.
wonderful.
It's a great moment.
Then they go back to base. And Billy and Solon are like, yeah, we did a bunch of shit. And now we're ready for the final engine test. And they're like, hell yeah, we're going home. And
Yeah.
and then don't we cut to Squillia at this point? Because that's not in the article, but I think that's in this episode.
Uh,
Because Squillia, at some point, I feel like it's this episode, because I think it's a different episode from when he actually appears, which is the next one.
it's
In this episode, I think right at the end, we cut to Squillia.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's after this entire scene.
After this entire scene, but probably before the spaceship stuff, right? Or is it after everything and it's at the end?
It's right at the end, yeah.
Right at the end, okay. So I was right. So we cut to Squillia on the Earth squid drill. And wait, are we on the Earth squid drill or are we in Zed's?
We're in the Rangers base.
No, Squillia.
No, that, like I said, all of that is right at the end of the episode. There's
Yeah,
still one more thing
we're
before
done
that.
with the spaceship. What do you mean?
No,
What
we're
did we
not.
miss? Yeah, they go
And
there, and Billy and Solon are like, we fixed it. We're gonna do the final
are
engine
you
test.
forgetting the transmission they got from Tarek?
Fuck! Damn it.
Riely, dude, come on.
In my defense, the article said that right at the beginning, so I kind of just forgot about it. But yeah, so they get a transmission. Solon's like, "You're gonna want to see this," and she sounds a little bit grim. And there is some grim stuff on there, but it actually seems mostly hopeful. So it's kind of weird how grim she sounds. But she plugs it in. We see Tarek on the screen. He's like, "Hey guys," and Amelia's like, "Dad, it's Dad." It's kind of weird that she immediately calls them mom and dad with no qualms when they were trying to kill her the entirety of last time. But you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like, "Oh, it's Dad." And Tarek's like, "Hey, Rangers, Amelia, your mom's about ready to pop. You're gonna meet your little sister soon."
Oh yeah, 'cause she's
Uh,
pregnant. I forgot
yeah,
about.
she's pregnant. Forgot about that. But yeah, so Amelia's little sister is on the way. But in other news, Lord Zed's attacking the Earth. People are getting put in prison. All the Power Rangers got put in prison. Izzy, Javi, your parents got put in prison. Sorry about that. But we're gonna do a resistance. All the Rafconians, we got a resistance set up. And what we figured out is all the squid drills that are on Earth, if one of them fails, the whole force field fails. So we've got a plan of attack, but we need your help. We know you weren't coming back because of the Zord shield. That's what we figure anyway. That's what we hope. So come on down. We got a plan. So things are hopeful. They've got some allies back on Earth. They've got a plan of attack. They just got to head home. And it's exciting stuff for them. Got to do an engine test. It'll be good to go.
And also, Izzy and Harvey's parents.
I said that.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Man, my brain must skip past that.
Both of our brains are fried today. It's okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So that's where things are with the Power Rangers. Tarek's running the resistance. They're gonna head to Earth and help him once they test the engine and they're ready to fly. And then we cut to Squillia, and I really forget what the real context for the scene was. Like, I know what gets revealed, but I forget like what the setup of the scene itself is.
Well, Zed is talking to Abigilia, Squillia, and Scrozzle. I think he's talking about how he's angry that they all just failed. And Scrozzle's just like, well, I didn't fail. I was tied up for like 3 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, they're yelling at Zed's yelling about failure. And Squillia's like, I don't even care, because like I've got a new crush and he's awesome. And Bajilia's like, you got a new crush? You tell your mom? She's like, yeah, he's so dreamy. Check out the goggles on this guy. And guess who this guy is?
It's Heckle.
It's Heckle. So
my favorite character from one of my favorite characters from Dino Charge. And he's back.
Which I immediately asked the question in my brain, like, wait, what? But they explain what next episode. But
yeah,
it was just weird. I'm like, why is Heckle's a good guy now? Why is he grinding on Squillia?
I think actually that was explained in this episode during the transmission. When
Oh,
Tarek
yeah. Oh, you're right, because Tarek says we have a spy on the inside. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tarek says we have a spy on the inside. Squillia's got a crush. It's Heckle. So you can put two and two together that Heckle may be the spy on the inside.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the episode ends on the like shot of Squillia's phone with the selfie of her and Heckle.
Well, actually, no, because Ollie walks in.
Oh, you're right.
And he's introducing the villain that's in next episode that you already mentioned.
Oh, that's in this episode? Okay.
Yeah, that Joe something is introduced.
Joe Zodic, which is that a reference to Tiger King in my Power Rangers? Because the guy from Tiger King, the like weird, the tiger guy who went to prison, and he had this whole Netflix documentary that took over the world a couple of years ago. His name was Joe Exotic. So it seems like Power Rangers is referencing Tiger King, which is wild. So
it might be as well, because one thing that the Sentai version of this monster is very much known for is he was in Juoja, the animal Sentai, and his whole thing was he hunts big animals.
Yeah, I think this is I think we got a Tiger King reference on our hands here, folks. So Ollie walks in with Tiger King, and Squillia's like, "Who's that?" And Zed's like, "Explain, boy."
More.
And he's like, "I put a tracker on the Cosmic Dragon Sword, and we're gonna go get the Power Rangers. And this is Joe Zodic, because the Power Rangers are on Eridus, and this is the expert on Eridus. He knows everything about Eridus." And they're all like, "Why do you know so much about Eridus?" And he's like, "'Cause the worms ate my hunting bots, and now I must have my revenge." So that's funny motivation for this character. Those fucking worms, they ate my robots. I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna learn everything about the ins and outs of their planet so I can most effectively kill them
I'm gonna avenge my robot.
and
Like an
avenge my robots. So that's the end. We got Joe Exotic. He's going after the Power Rangers with Ollie, and oh, did they discuss the laser plan in this episode, or is that next episode?
let me put the volume up on this episode. Yeah. Okay, no, I don't think they do.
Okay, yeah, that's probably next episode.
Eradicate the teenagers.
Eradicate the teenagers.
That's all I really heard from Zed, because they're just focusing on just right. Yeah, take him and just go to Iridus, kill the Rangers, and
Kill
then.
those fuckers.
So yeah, that was Cosmic Fury episode 5.
All right, Nightster, you've had all this time to ruminate it in your mind secretly as we went through the recap. Who's your favorite character in this episode?
Apart from that one scene, Izzy.
Yeah, I said last episode that I was going to feel obligated to give it to a different character every time because I only have 10 shots. I immediately have to break that rule because I did give it to Izzy last episode, but I also have to give it to Izzy this episode because it's just until that last line, which might have just been like a little bit of a botch delivery. Like maybe it wasn't meant to be that stanky, but
It might have just
beyond.
been meant to be like, yeah, sure. I'm trying to make her girlfriend feel better.
This episode is just called Rock Out, right?
Yeah, just rock out.
Okay. Yeah, so Izzy's across the board. I accidentally deleted the E and Ollie from your pick last episode. Now we gotta talk about our favorite scene. What do you think?
As much as I usually hate them, it might have been the Zord fight.
Yeah, Cosmic
cool.
Dragon Zord fighting the copy guards, that might be my favorite too.
One of my favorite shots was the Cosmic Dragon coiling around one of the guards and then brushing it into an explosion.
Wait, no, you know what? Honorable mention to Cosmic Dragon Zord. But I think I am going to give my favorite scene to the Power Rangers' metal concert. That was pretty sick.
That's fair.
Now we got to rank it, which I think we're breaking the trend. I don't think this is bottom. I think it's definitely at the very least better than the last one. Is it better than Off Grid? Because I kind of want to say, I kind of want this one to be higher, but like Off Grid, it did have that like really good stuff with like Ion emotionally, and like some good material with Ollie. That was also the episode where Ollie pranks Dr. Akana, I believe, which is really good. So like that's a hard nut to crack for me. I still don't understand why we ranked episode 2 higher, but I guess we decided that, so we had to keep it Creed.
Yeah.
Is it better than Off Grid? It's really fun. Like Off Grid is a good serious episode. This is a good fun episode. So you kind of have to like look at them with different scopes. Is this a better fun episode than Off Grid is a serious episode?
It's kind of like even because it's difficult to compare when it's two different types of things.
I think Off Grid is like significant enough that it should probably keep its top 3 spot for now. So I'll say new number 4.
Yeah, new
is
number 4.
Rock Out.
I will say though that I already know who my favorite character in the next episode is.
It's interesting if it's who I think it is because he's only in it for 30 seconds.
It's not who you think it is.
Okay. The way you were saying it, I was implying that it's that guy. But
No, it's
I don't know
not.
why I'm being coy about it. We see him at the end of this episode. It's Heckle that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's Heckle, but it's not Heckle.
Okay, fair enough. So this next episode,
Take
I'm
off.
Take off. I'm pretty sure the information is the exact same. I think the writers might change at some point. I don't think it's the same for literally every episode. Maybe the Hask directs every episode, but I think the writer staff does change slightly. But maybe I'm just gaslighting myself. But this episode is September 29th, 2023, written by Becca Barnes, Alwyn Dale, Maya Thompson, and Cameron Dixon, and directed by Charlie Haskell. So let's get into it.
Let's begin.
We start on planet Eridus. The Rangers are driving the Zords.
Yep,
So
that is correct
so
this time.
good. And they're like, okay, Billy and Solon are working on the spaceship. They're doing the engine test. It's gonna be stuck on the ground, so we have to make sure it's safe. And we just sense some like crazy seismic activities. We better go figure that out. And Ion's like, if it's a landfill, I'm going surfing. And it's like, yeah, we better make the most of it. This might be our last night on Eridus. And then they find the seismic activity. They find that Javi's like, I might miss this. I think I'm gonna miss this place. And then they find the seismic activity, and it's a giant scuttle worm. And he's like, not gonna miss it. Not gonna miss this place.
It's this place.
So they're dealing with that. Meanwhile, oh, by the way, it's just the boys. I forgot to
Yeah,
mention that.
it's just a
Uh,
boy that.
s- so it's the girls and Solon and Billy are on the ship. And the girls, including Fern, which will make more sense as this episode goes on. So Billy puts the cloak on the ship, and they work on the final touches. And Fern's like, I'll go help. And Izzy's like, there's a Zord fight going on out there, so don't do that. Is this when the inside cat thing comes up?
I think that's quite a bit later.
Well,
'Cause
no,
it,
because there's a setup for it where Fern says like, oh yeah, inside cat, got it. And then at the end, it's like, I guess we're both not inside cats. There's a setup earlier where Fern says it.
yeah, Amelia says something like, "We need someone like in the base to."
Yeah, later. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah. I was just I didn't want to miss that line because not a lot of the particular lines are noted down. But yeah, so they're getting ready. Billy and Solon head out to do the thing because Izzy won't let her do the thing.
Yeah, she won't let her help.
And then we go back to the boys. Ion shoots it says he throws venom on the worm in the suit in the article. I remember him shooting some sort of goop.
Yeah, he says something like, "I know how to deal with tough customers. Give them a drink on the house."
Oh yeah, and
And
here's a spicy beverage. Yeah, I remember that quip now, and he shoots the venom at him. And then they form the Cosmic Dragon Megazord. They do the Cosmic Mega Blast, and they kill the Scuttle Worm. And they're like, "Great work, team! Hey, Solon, we're ready to go." And then it's nothing. She doesn't respond. So they're like, "Oh, that's bad." So they go back to the ship. And they get there. And Billy comes back in. And I can't talk. He has Solon's comm, and he's like, "Bad news, guys. You got Solon's comm. It's covered in goop. She disappeared." Um,
oh, spaghetti! Oh,
oh. And they're like, "Oh no. Did she get eaten? Did she get aided by a worm?"
we get
Um, and
eaten.
and Ion's like, well, even if she did get aided by a worm, she's not very easy to digest. So like, we should have time. And Amelia's like, yeah, we're not leaving. We're not writing Solon off. We're not leaving without her. We gotta find her.
Yeah, which
And
this is
then,
why. Oh, go on.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is one of the reasons why Amelia just really works as a red.
She
She,
is. I feel bad that I haven't given her favorite character yet. I hope she gets a really big, like, big damn hero Red Ranger moment, like, towards the end. But, like, just in general, as a character, she has been extremely well handled, and she is an extremely proficient Red Ranger.
yeah, it's really good.
So we cut to where Solon is. We find out what kind of situation Solon has found herself in, and she's all webbed up. She's got scuttleworm goop all over her. She's trapped. And there's eggs surrounding her that are glowing. And it's
Glowing
like,
eggs.
whoa. So Bajilia, Ollie, and Joe Zodic, they find the Rangers with the tracker. And Bajilia is like, we're going to send a copy guard to get him. So we're going to send him to the ice moon, according to this article. We're going to send him to the ice moon. He's going to fire lasers. And if the lasers hit the Power Rangers, cool. If the lasers don't hit the Power Rangers, then it will draw the Power Rangers out so that we can get them. So that's the plan.
That is indeed the plan.
We go back to the Rangers. Zato starts. Zato does like Morphin Master brain magic to
Oh yeah, like
find.
he scans the map thing to
Yeah,
find Solon.
he goes to the map thing and he's just like Solon. And he closes his eyes, and then that's when he does his magic.
He
And
does.
he figures out that she's in the cave with the eggs. And he's like, it's over there. It's right there. This cave. Sorry. And then he and then he falls over. And they're like, oh shit. They catch him. And they're like, you're obviously still weak. You're ice cold, by the way.
Yeah.
That took a lot out of you. Obviously, you need to rest. And Zato's like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry. I'll be okay. And so Fern's like, I want to help. I don't. I like Solon. I don't want her to be kidnapped. I want to help. And Izzy's like, you gotta stay. And Amelia's like, yeah, because we need somebody here to like check on the engine, because that's important. Because we're trying to leave. And Fern's like, yeah, inside cat, got it. Indoor cat.
Yeah.
And Zato is gonna go find Solon. Izzy's like, you're not going alone when you're ice cold and falling over. I'll come with you. So Zato and Izzy go to find Solon. And then the others and Billy get in
Yeah.
the
I thought you'd be
Zords.
happy about that.
Yeah, so Billy's morphed. Billy's in the action again. So
And
that's
he's in the
fun.
Wolf Sword, which I think might be a callback.
I think that's
Because
the only Zord he's driven, and yeah, it is very much a callback. Yes.
yeah, because like his animal Mighty Morphin Zord was the wolf.
Yeah, his Ninja Zord. We'll meet his Wolf Sword in season 3, but now he's got a new Wolf Sword.
Yeah.
So Zato and Izzy are at the cave. Izzy's like, all right, let's blast our way through in there. It was like, why don't we just teleport right in? And Zato's like, cause worms, there's like a lot of worms, so we gotta
Oh,
be like stealthy about this. So let's cut the web. And Izzy's like, all right, and then she summons her daggers to cut the web. But then Ollie shows up. So everybody morphs. They start fighting. We cut to the Zords. They make the Cosmic Fury Megazord. They're fighting the Copy Guard. Ion and Billy do some final strikes. Good times are had by all there.
indeed.
But Zato and Izzy are in trouble because Ollie's kind of kicking their ass. And they call back to the ship and they call back to the other Rangers, and they're talking to the other Rangers over comm. We cut to Fern, who's listening because the comm is also playing on the ship. And she hears that Solon is still in trouble and that Izzy and Zato are preoccupied with fighting Ollie. So she finds just this random dino. Okay. Is this the one that's supposed to be Ollie's?
I'm pretty
Because,
sure it
like,
is.
what is it doing there?
It's just in the box that all of the other ones were in, and I'm
Okay.
guessing it was just going to be there waiting for Ollie to turn back. good.
Yes, okay, because
So he
they
can
do
grab it.
mention that. They do mention that one was made for Ollie. Okay, so this is supposed to be Ollie's fancy new morpher. But Fern takes it. She doesn't necessarily know that it's a morpher. She's just like, I hope you have a blast that you can fire, because this is what I can find. And well, no, she does know. 'Cause she knows it teleports, but I guess she doesn't know if it's functional or not. Spoilers, it's not. But spoilers, it might be. Stay tuned. So Fern teleports in. She teleports right in, right? Like just right in front of Solon.
I think so. Like, we cut to Solon being like webbed up and all the eggs are glowing, and then yeah, Fern just teleports right in front of her,
Yeah, Fern teleports right in. Um,
and Solon's
they're
trying
still
to
fighting the
warn
monster,
her.
by the way. I feel like I implied that they finished him off, which they didn't, but
Mm.
they're still fighting.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
still fighting.
which is why they can't help Zato and Izzy, obviously. And then Fern arrives to the Zord, or to the Zord. Fern arrives to the cave. I don't know. I just can't do words today. I'm very bad at them, as it turns out. It's kind of my whole thing. I do like 9 podcasts, but turns out bad at words. I'm a fraud.
Yeah. Oops.
So the eggs crack. The scuttleworms hatch. She blasts them, makes them blow up. One of them bites right onto her arm over where the blaster is, and then she just blasts him. And she's like, "You walked into that one," because
Yeah.
like it was a very brutal way to murder that worm, but he did ask for it.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, then there's goop all over her morpher. So she gets scuttle. She gets. Does she get? Oh no, she doesn't get Solon free just yet. It's like during the conflict that she gets Solon free. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because
Um,
there's two full-grown scuttleworms just run in.
yeah, the big scuttleworms show up. Um, oh no, because she is free. Because Solon does like a quip. She's like, "I'd love to stay in chat" or something. And then Fern tries to teleport. And it doesn't work. And Solon's like, "Fern, that's kind of your cue."
Yeah, the
And she's
teleport's
like,
not
"It's like
working.
it's not working. It's not working." That doesn't work. And the scuttleworms attack. Solon gets like knocked down and starts like short circuiting a little bit. And Fern's like, "No, Solon, are you okay?" And she kneels down. And when the morpher like touches Solon's short circuiting electricity, it like creates a dino DNA bond with Solon, which turns Fern into the Orange Ranger.
Yeah, which was interesting.
Interesting. It's kind of weird to me that there's just a little Solon in her cosmic orb. That's the one part that's real weird because we're gonna see it later. That's the like it's kind of weird that the powers come from Solon. The term Solonic power doesn't even sound bad, so like I could get used to it. But it's weird that there's a little Solon in that orb.
Yeah. Like, is that meant to be the actual Solon just saying hi? Like, hey. Or is it...
Hey, what's up? But yeah, she morphs into the Orange Ranger. Congratulations, Fern. You're officially Power Ranger. Enjoy your next 4 episodes where you get to do that. Um,
And then
and she,
Solon kind of mentions that, hey, that's my claws.
yeah, so oh
And
yeah,
like,
that she's like, "What dinosaur is this?" And Solon's like, "That looks like my claw is your weapon." And that's when they realize it's Solonic power. Wow, I'm the Solon Ranger. How are they gonna make a whole Power Ranger as Solon and not just make Solon a Power Ranger?
no, that felt weird to me when I first
Yeah.
watched it. I like Fern as a ranger, but she could have just been the Blue Ranger or something, and
I
then
thought she
Fern...
was gonna be a purple ranger because her credits part is purple. So when I first saw those credits, and we all knew that Fern was gonna be a Power Ranger, but it hadn't been revealed what Power Ranger she was gonna be, I was like, okay, so Fern's gonna be a purple ranger, and that's not what happened.
I think it maybe was to hide the fact that she was going to be the Solon
I
Ranger.
mean, obviously, they weren't gonna
But,
put her. They weren't gonna put Orange there because then everybody would have figured it out.
but then, even then, what color is she wearing the entire season?
Is she wearing orange
orange.
the entire season? Yeah, okay.
Yes, the big orange, like, was it undershirt or jacket she's got on?
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, now Fern's the Orange Ranger. I'm pretty happy about that. I do like a Fern. I do think she's pretty good here. I
Yeah,
don't think Fern is nothing crow royalty. I think she's very something. I think you're a bitch.
yeah. She's very
it's
much
gonna be
something.
it's gonna be interesting to see what the first episode is of Megazord Radio without crow royalty, in which I don't talk shit about crow royalty because I think I've gotten it in on every single one so far.
I think you might have. I'm just not saying my piece on all that because I don't want to get involved in any internet drama.
It's not
I've,
internet drama. Me and crow
I've
royalty are
seen,
still friends. He's just too lazy
oh
to do
yeah,
the show.
uh, like I've seen what it can do when people shit talk each other. So I'm just not
No,
gonna get it.
we should talk all the time. It's fine. He knows. Crow knows. It's all fun and games, except for those times where we have civil wars. But that happens. Happens to the best
In
of us.
America. After that, oh yeah, it's cutting to the other rangers with the guttle ones. No,
Yeah.
is
So
it?
the other Rangers are fighting the Scuttle Worms. I'm sorry, I get distracted because a
Yeah.
comic that I backed at Indiegogo that's super late just got an update and it distracted me. But fucking. We catch the Rangers. They're fighting not the copy guards. That's
The
what the
fine
that's
Ollie and
Ollie and Josodic.
Ollie, yeah, and some Sentinels. And during the fight, Amelia is like, "Okay, I'm gonna go help Solon," and then a freaking scuttle worm just
Yeah.
flies.
So the Power Rangers destroy the copy guards. Zato and Izzy are fighting Ollie and Josodic, and then the other Power Rangers show up to join Zato and Izzy in their fight
Oh yeah,
against Josodic. And that Amelia says, "I'm gonna go help Solon while you guys deal with this." And then out comes the Orange Ranger, and she destroys the worm. And Josodic's like, "Is that a new one that there is?" And Solon also comes out. So that's good for them. I guess Ollie and Josodic just leave at this point because the article goes right from Solon comes out of the cave to the base. So
well,
I imagine Ollie and Josodic don't stay for too long.
I have it here actually,
Oh yeah,
and
because I know what happens. I know what happens because the Scuttleworms, they just leave. The Power Rangers flee. They've got Solon. They've got what they came for. They don't need to stay to fight Ollie and Josodic, so they leave. And then more worms come out of the cave. And Josodic's like, "Those fucking worms, they ate my robots. I'm getting my revenge." And Ollie's like, "Hey, don't fucking worry about the worms. We got Power Rangers to deal with." And Josodic's like, "I don't care. Fuck you, worms." And then Ollie's like, "Shit, well, I guess we're doing worms now." And he starts fighting the other worm.
it's then that we cut to the base.
So back at base, the Rangers are like, "Who is the Orange Ranger?" Because nobody has deductive reasoning in Power Rangers.
So an orange ranger is suddenly here. It's definitely female, and Fern is nowhere to be seen. I wonder who this could be.
Yeah, so Fern demorphs, and everybody's like, "Whoa, it's Fern! We had no idea about that." So yeah, Fern's a Power Ranger. Izzy kind of just doesn't say anything about it the whole time. So we get the impression that she's pissed. And then we kind of get it clarified later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Rangers are getting ready for blast off. Time to take off. And Zato and like the other boys who are not technology men are like, "Is there anything we can do?" And Billy's like, "I suggest you hold on."
Yeah.
So that's fun. That's a good line. And then we go to a squid drill on Earth, where Squilia is hanging out with none other than Heckle.
Okay, yeah.
She's flirting hard, and Heckle's like, "Oh, you like my goggles, do you? We should get you some goggles." And Squilia's like, "Yeah, I love goggles." And then
He starts
And
flexing the camera.
a monster called Amwizo arrives, who they address as if we're supposed to know, kind of, which is not the case. But I'm probably just reading too much into it. But like, they don't act like this is a new character. It's just like, oh, Amwizo.
Yeah, I don't think
so
he's anything.
so
Um,
Amwizo pops up. And just like starts saying stuff or whatever. It's not important. And then Scully is like, "Do you have a crush on me?" And Wiseau's like, "No, no, I
I,
don't.
I, I don't know.
No, no." So Squilia's Zed calls,
That goes, yeah.
and he's like, "Bajilia failed. And if you fail, I'm gonna kill your crush and you." And Squilia's like, okay, cool. I'm Wiza. Oh yeah, because the Power Rangers are coming to Earth. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And Squilia's like, okay, I'm Wizo. You're in charge of Power Ranger duty. And Wizo's like, yes, anything for you, my love. And he leaves. And then Squilia just gets right back on Heckle's dick. Uh,
Yeah.
and then we go back to the ship where they're telling Fern's Power Ranger origin story. Um, and they're like, yeah, her like goodness and her desire to help me and the energy from my circuits, they all combined in that moment to turn her into a Power Ranger. And Fern's like, I'm just glad you're okay. And she kind of goes up to Solon. And Izzy walks away. And Solon's like, well, I'm fine, but I don't want to keep you. Because obviously Fern's got to go over to Izzy. So Fern goes over to Izzy. Um, and Fern thinks she's going to be mad, but she's not mad. She's like, look, ever since you got stuck here with us, I've been like super scared that something's bad going to happen to you. And I forgot why I love you so much in the first place. And it's because you're like strong and that you can do anything. And
You're
she's like, except
unstoppable.
if it's unstoppable. And she's like, except when I break my ankle. But then I got you for that. And they hug. And then Javi makes a shitty dad joke. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah. It was the power couple. It's like, now that your girlfriend's a Power Ranger, you bring a whole new meaning to power couple. Everybody's like, Javi, come on.
Yeah.
and then and then Billy's like, hey, Javi, when we get back to Earth, word of advice, stick to music. Ba ba
That
ba da ba
one.
ba 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 ba. Or I wish I could do that, but unfortunately, there's one more scene.
Yeah.
But then we go to Eltar, where Zed is, and Ollie's there, and he's like, "Why am I not in charge of Earth? Are you mad at me?" And Zed's like, no, I'm not mad at you, boy, but I'm disappointed. It's kind of weird how Zed is Ollie Zed's son.
That's what I was.
Is Ollie sad that the Power Rangers killed Thrax and now Ollie is his son?
Like, I gotta get this that feeling of, are you mad at me, Dad? Why don't I get Earth?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. That's a reference nobody gets to a podcast that thousands of people have listened to out of the billions. So statistically, nobody will get it. Um, so yeah, Zed is like only survivors win. You got to be the strongest. That's how you do it. Because everybody with power is going to try to take down the top dogs. You got to be the top dog, and you got to not get taken down. And he's like, I'm gonna become the strongest because I got Morphin Master energy that Scrozzle is gonna help me do it, and you are needed for this. And Ollie's like, it'll be an honor, Master, and that's it. That's the
Yeah,
episode.
that is indeed Takeoff.
Take off. So, who's your favorite character in Take Off?
Easily fun. Not
Yeah,
everything.
you know, very, very, very easy. It's kind of tempting to give it to Amelia or Billy. I think they had some good stuff in this episode, but like it's much more subtle good stuff. And this is obviously Fern's time to shine, and she did very well. So yeah, take off. I think Fern gets it.
Yeah.
What about your favorite scene?
If I go back for the clips, you know what? I'm gonna give my favorite scene to Heckle trying to put on a show for Squillia.
It's a pretty good scene. That's pretty good. I think I'm gonna give it to. I think it really is just like the whole sequence of Fern fighting the Scuttleworms and becoming a Power Ranger for the first time. Like I think it was a well done moment. I like that her quip is I'm gonna need to think of some quips. Like that was good.
Yeah,
I
that
liked
was
that. I like that whole scene. So yeah, the introduction of the Orange Ranger, I will give my favorite scene.
I
So
love
then we
that
gotta
clip.
rank it. I
Ah,
don't think it's better than the last one. I don't think it's better than Rock Out, but I think it's better than Teamwork.
so you thinking number 5?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I can agree on that.
Okay, so coming in at the new number 5, Takeoff. So next week we're watching. I know one of them's The Yoke's on You. I forget what the A Star is Born. A Star is Born. A Star
Yeah.
is Born and The Yoke's on You from Mighty Morphin Season 1. Next time on Cosmic Fury is Operation Seasoning.
And switching
Operation Seasoning. And Switching Sides. Do
sides.
you think Switching Sides might be the episode where Ollie comes back?
I mean, I can look at the description, but
I don't want to be spoiled, but I have with the name Switching Sides.
yeah, I mean, it makes
I
sense.
have a guess. Like I knew the takeoff was going to be the episode where the ship took off, so I'm calling my bets here that Switching Sides is going to be the episode where Ollie's good guy again.
I just had a relook and I know the answer now. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's something in there that surprises me that I forgot.
Okay, interesting.
So that's going to be interesting.
So I don't know if this was Ranger Wiki. I saw it a passing glance for a second. There's not a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in this, right?
What do you mean?
Like, cause Billy's in there, but I thought that I caught out of the corner of my eye in the Cosmic Fury article a picture of all of the Mighty Morphin, but not out of suit, because I know the actors aren't in it. But I think I saw suits.
Not that I remember. I mean, I know something happens regarding them, but I don't want to spoil that either. I don't know how much I can say.
Yeah, no, you don't need to clarify anything, but that was a curiosity. I caught it out of the corner of my eye on the wiki, and I never went back to check, and I was like, wait a minute, was that the was that the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, all of them? But it'll be interesting to see. I know Min's not in this, which pisses me off, because I was certain Min was gonna be in this season, because they did a whole new Power Ranger in that movie, and they brought Billy back from that movie. So I assumed the whole new Power Ranger in the movie was gonna come back, but I've been told that's not the case.
I can definitely clarify that Min makes no appearance in this scene.
Tragic, truly tragic.
It is tragic.
We'll meet Min Kwan someday. That's an interesting. I guess, audience, if you still really want Crow's idea, you could tell us in the comments. We'll let you know. What are the arguments me and Crow were having about the future of this show while he was still on the show? Is at what point we were going to cover the 2017 movie and not Cosmic Fury, the 2017 movie and Once and Always. I want to do it, when they actually happened chronologically. Crow really wanted to do it like between Mighty Morphin season 3 and Zeo because it's Mighty Morphin stuff.
Let us know.
So let us know what you'd prefer. But regardless, yeah, exciting stuff coming up. We're so close to the end of Cosmic Fury.
Yep. Only have what, 4 more episodes? Yeah.
Yep. And then we'll
Let,
start blasting through Mighty Morphin at a
which
breakneck pace.
which is 2 more episodes of this show.
True. So yeah, only 2 more. And then then there's going to be the recap and rank them up.
Yeah.
that we're gonna do at the end of every season. So we got 3 more Cosmic Fury episodes coming. And then it'll be all Mighty Morphin from there until Disney Plus show happens, or until Zeo, whichever comes first.
Indeed.
Maybe it'll still be all Mighty Morphin if my guess about the Disney Plus show is right.
It might be.
It might just be.
I've got to
Which,
wait.
by the way, I just want to say, I just want to tell the listeners, advertise this cool piece of media. By the time you hear this podcast, there will be a video on Toku Thrill of me and Nightster talking about the new Power Rangers show. That will be there by
That
next
will be
Wednesday
there.
when this episode comes up.
It might even be there last Wednesday from when you're seeing this because
Okay, all right,
I finished editing it. I
all
just need
right.
to load it.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely check that out because we gave our thoughts and hopes and predictions about the Disney Plus Power Rangers show. Um, one prediction we didn't even discuss is that show even going to happen? That's my fear. That's what I started thinking about
Yeah.
because this is not the first time we got a Power Rangers reboot announced.
No, but got that weird CG animated thing.
Yeah, the weird CG animated thing, and then there was going to be a live action one for Netflix that was going to be directed by a Netflix director that is actually well respected. And that was in development for a while, and then it got canceled, and now that guy's doing the new Karate Kid thing instead.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, Jackie Chan is back in there.
Which the new Karate Kid thing, I saw immediately. One of the Power Rangers accounts posted a clip of like an amazing fight scene from the trailer of that new Karate Kid thing, and they're like, "You guys really didn't want this guy to do the Power Rangers reboot? You fucked up."
Yeah, I can
So
agree.
we never got to see Jonathan Entwistle's Power Rangers, but hopefully this version of Power Rangers we will get to see.
And hopefully it'll be good.
Hopefully so. I'm
That's
very
it.
I can enjoy Power Rangers either way. It's gonna be good that we're covering it on this show, because even if it's bad, I'll enjoy doing goofs about it. And I have faith that it's gonna be pretty good. Like this is the first time. The thing about Power Rangers, I feel like I'm mean to Power Rangers whenever I talk about it like this, but like here's the reality. Every single person who works on Power Rangers is like the fourth string of like the entertainment industry, like very low on the totem pole. And this is the first time, besides maybe Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. I don't know who directed that, but it might have been somebody real. And like the movies in general, not Turbo. I'm sure Turbo was directed by Power Rangers people.
Yeah.
But Mighty Morphin in 2017 are a different story. But this is the first time that a season of Power Rangers has a staff that has made real shows. Like shows that are not Power Rangers, because Power Rangers' whole thing is we do not want to pay anybody any amount of money, so we're gonna hire the most nobodies possible, and a lot of those nobodies are very good, but they're making a certain kind of show that is kind of very pigeonholed. Like if you like it, it's good, and that's good for you. But there's just little writing quirks that are ever present in Power Rangers that kind of make it harder to digest for a general audience. And seeing that there's actually a show running staff here who makes like real shows that people watch who are not Power Rangers fans, it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it either way.
For sure. But folks, I think that'll about wrap us here for this 20th episode of Megazord Radio. Nightster, where can the listeners find you?
You can find me on my solo channel, Nightster, or on the um, Toku channel that I run with Riely and some other friends called Toku Thrill here on YouTube.
Yeah, we did our civilian uniforms tier list. We did our hopes and predictions for the Disney Plus show. All sorts of good content on there, and more coming your way. Zenkaiger episode 2 coming your way. Whenever Nightster unearths his old computer or whatever he has to do.
Yeah, I need to get that up here.
But folks, you can find me at linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. That's Riely Cinematic Universe. Lots of podcasts, lots of YouTube channels. If you want to see some live stuff, if you want to interact with me in a live chat during a live podcast, I do 2 of those on Thursdays. At noon Eastern on Thursday on the Demi Gloom YouTube channel. Me and Demi Gloom do a show called The Trans Fat Experience. She's trans, I'm fat. It's our podcast, and we talk about whatever. And it's a good time. Last couple have been certified bangers. I had, well, the one that will actually be most recent by the time you hear this, I haven't done yet. So who knows if that one's a banger? But the last couple before that have been bangers. And then there's at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays, you can catch the Death Stream, which is a current events, news, politics sort of show that I do with my buddy Brad. We have a good time on there. And yeah, check it out. And many more on the Riely Cinematic Universe. I almost said the Riely Podcast Mega Feed. That has not been a thing in several years. It's just the Riely Cinematic Universe Linktree is what I'm talking about.
Gonna be Marvel over here.
But folks, thank you for listening to Megazord Radio. I have been Riely.
I've been Nightster.
And until next time, we're morphing out of here.
Link to morphing.
Link to morphing grid.
Welcome to Megazord. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
You did it, buddy. Good job.
Right. Cut that out, Riely. Restart. We're gonna fucking restart.
I really don't want to.
Oh, my sister came in right as I was doing the intro.
You know what? I'll put this part like after. I'll rip off the morphing grid. They put like bloopers after the ending song. I'll put this after the ending song, and then we'll start with your actual intro.
All right, cool.